Picks and bans for game number 2. Torpedo versus Panthera coming now. Panthera one more time with the first pick. They'll be on the left side in blue again. Torpedo opting instead for the right side. Second pick.
Panthera once again going to start off by banning Janice. I am assuming that Torpedo is going to follow suit and ban Raijin.
We'll take a pick, and that's exactly what we see. Panthera's got some options. Now, it's interesting. We've seen some Ra. Lasses likes to play Ra. Korinyo is a very strong Ra player. Do you think that's a character we can see today?
I don't know, man. I think it is slightly off meta right now.
Mhm.
There are certain comps I think that it works on, but without a major form of accessible burst damage, I feel like the mages are a little bit weaker right now. So far, we are running it back as Panthera gets Soul. A Torpedo, of course, I think last time picked Nasha in the second pick. What was their first pick?
They opted to go. It wasn't the Neath this early.
Well, Neath was banned.
Well, we'll see where Torpedo goes. Poseidon.
Wasn't Poseidon.
It definitely was not. So, gonna bring that into the mid lane. They might be anticipating the switch here. They might be anticipating that Soul goes in the mid lane, so they want to pick something high clear as well. Thor selected for Torpedo.
No way that goes back to the solo lane. After the beating that Gamehunter just took, Dimi has beat this god out of Gamehunter.
Yeah, I'll have to agree. Torpedo Gaming likely to give that to NinjaBobat. Of course, can't scratch anything off just yet. Geb, great pick, and there's your answer. So aggressive last game, defensive this game. iRaffer showing, find yourself a man that can do both.
I like this pick because the Geb shield is going to basically negate the Kraken damage, ensuring one player a fair amount of safety. And with how quick Raffer is on his support plays, I'm expecting no kills from that Kraken to happen if Geb is in the neighborhood.
Geb also a great pick against CC-oriented god like Thor. Guan Yu will be selected for Torpedo
That's
again.
solo this time.
Yeah.
I'm expecting this to be solo.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, Guan Yu against Geb isn't the worst, considering Geb doesn't have a way to stop Guan Yu's nonsense like Yammyn does. First ban back into the ban phase, going to be Odin.
So Odin, who had a great performance yesterday in North America, not going to be available here for Torpedo or Panthera. And Vamana taken out by Panthera as well.
Again,
maybe they're not convinced that Guan Yu's going to the solo.
I think this is very smart. If Guan Yu does wind up being the support again, this is a counter to Soul that they can take off the board. Bologna rightfully getting taken down. Dimi's last game was unbelievable. And I mean, not getting rid of that god would have probably been suicide.
Yeah, I mean, Dimi just ran it. Ho Yi taken out from the guys on Panthera, so no ricochet nonsense.
Rama's still a possibility. Moex didn't have the best game, but he certainly didn't have the worst.
Yeah, that's
if anyone on his team, I think, held the candle, I think it would have been him. So.
Yeah, that's a fine pick. I mean, he was a part of pretty much all of those kills on the team. He started off the first party, so definitely not a poor pick. As we said, this is a very Moex god.
Yep.
So not afraid of that one. Fenrir going to be selected again for adapting. He did a fantastic job.
So far, 3 out of 5 return for Panthera, switching up, of course, Yammyn for Geb, and they'll have to switch out Bologna as well, as she is banned. Another warrior likely to be picked. I'm thinking tier with this squad.
Could be a tier. I could definitely see a tier. It's all about how Dimi's feeling, though.
He's feeling like Ami.
It's going to go Amaterasu. So we saw this god be played by Benji, formerly known as Salt Machine, yesterday.
Yes.
And Dimi will also be playing two high-level solo laners, bringing Amaterasu to the party.
This is a very team-oriented god, unlike Chaac, who is much more suited for solo play. Remember, Chaac did receive a buff recently, 75-second ult timer as opposed to 90, making the god a little bit easier.
And it's so important because early game, Chaac's got a lot of damage and can do a decent amount to control situations with his slow. And then mid and late game, Chaac does pretty much absolutely nothing. He becomes an ult bot just like a Nemesis or an Odin. And the problem was, if you're an ult bot and you can only ult every other team fight, that's not really that good. So you lower the cooldown a little bit and you let him walk around, and we'll see how it works out. One thing that definitely doesn't happen to Chaac, though, is loss of lane. So Gamehunter's going to take that into solo lane. Should be a drastically different story than we saw last match on the Thor.
Can we actually hover on Chaac? I want to see if he's using the skin. Yes, dude!
Uh-oh.
Yes! It's our Easter skin. It's the chocolate bunny. Yes, man. What are you looking at, man? Come on! It's the best skin in the game!
Oh, my
Well, besides
goodness.
the Alposh skin, which is banned.
Chrono 64 is one
No,
of my favorites.
over Nutcracker?
I like Chrono 64, and I like the aggressive inline Diem Brandon Naja skin. That's
God
one
bless.
of my favorites.
God bless.
That's one of my favorites. Gamehunter coming up. Oh, my goodness.
This is the best skin.
The front side is so much more offensive because you just see the giant peep in all its glory. That's
And the ear is missing because it's bitten off. And that's where you start. If you've ever eaten a chocolate bunny, if you don't start with the ears, you're a monster.
Of course. You bite his feet off? You can't
Some
run
people,
away.
I could imagine, bite the feet. Or some people maybe even start with the face because they're sociopaths.
Here's the mid start that both Brandon and I really like. And a red pot's popped by Chaac, so Gamehunter looking for this early kill.
Wait, yeah, is that Bluestone Red Pot Chaac?
This works out in casuals in the mid lane. Let's see how it works out in a high-level solo match.
Amaterasu doesn't have great clear until like level 6, level 7. I'm very nervous here for Dimi because if he steps out against Big Daddy Chaac with this build, I mean, he's going to feel the pain.
Yeah, I mean, Chaac does a lot of damage early on, and not just that. If Dimi doesn't go right into the dash, he can get caught out with the rain dance.
This guy.
Korinyo already down to half, adapting. Doing work on the mid laner. And one more time, we see the old switcheroo come out from Panthera. Soul in the long lane, and the mid held down by the horseman.
I mean, the skin namesake of Epsilon, right? This is what happened at Worlds. Emilitoo really showed what Soul could do.
Oh, yeah.
Dimi going right for the Ellies, it seems. Not going to have great clear. Chaac going to throw the axe to little to no avail, and will not have it for a few more seconds. As a result, won't have the same level of pressure that he would have normally, but might have some damage ideas.
Decent amount out there.
That red pot.
Yeah. Red pot Chaac.
Why is Gamehunter walking away?
He's playing it safe. He got handled last game.
He is playing it scared.
Well,
Dimi
Adapting's
is in his head.
Adapting's in the jungle. You better be scared of the 2-on-1 that's early on.
I mean, even so, like, yes, they called it, but Gamehunter should have traded 2 or 3 hits. Dimi is now level 4 as a result of all the stealing going on. Adapting rotates over to eat some experience as well to keep himself ahead as Bobat doesn't rotate. Left
emilitoo
side.
in some trouble. Dash forward, slow him out, but finds a way out.
Does he have potions?
Yeah, he just pops him.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, not a big deal at all for the mage in the long lane. Moex getting a little aggressive. And we'll ride along with Yammyn for the moment. This Chiron mid is very, very interesting. And really, I mean, what is it about these hunters that make Yammyn able to bring them into the mid lane?
I think it has to do with the fact that he just
That's a
is
dead
so...
decided.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I mean, once Fenrir jumps at you at that level, there's nothing to do. Let's actually hover on Fenrir here. And, yeah, he went 2 and 2. So he had level 2 Unchained and level 2 Brutalize, almost getting a kill again there. Pretty close. He'll take some tower shots. Gamehunter, where are you?
What I like about that play, Brandon, is very calculated.
He's
Gamehunter in some trouble. Now he'll be able to teleport to his axe. But he likely has to go back to base.
Oh, Dimi, I'm sorry. Dimi had already used his ultimate, or he hasn't taken it. Let's hover. Yes, he has already used that Guan Yu Redux.
So that kill in the mid lane brought to you by the rotation to the solo lane. Adapting goes over to the solo, takes the pigs away, and Gamehunter says, hey, there's a Fenrir in my jungle. And then that creates just enough room for the mid laner to get aggressive. Adapting comes right on back very quickly, takes him out. Same thing for the duo lane. Ultimate going to be negated thanks to Guan Yu, but Brutalize will follow. Not enough damage to find the kill. Yammyn, on the other hand, one shot, 2 shot.
Not enough. Not enough. That heal did just enough. The meditation had already been on cooldown, but a 4-man rotation will net nothing but a push back to the base, which is free experience for Moex, and you can already see Korinyo pushing into the tower as best he can. Right side, mid-camps belong to him as well.
I'm with you, Brandon. I want to see Gamehunter fight this more. I want to see more fight out of this red pot Chaac.
I mean, Chaac versus Amaterasu for the first 6 levels belongs to Chaac for free. Chaac with a red pot, however, if he doesn't take that early game, he loses, plain and simple. Ami is a significantly better, that was a great steal, significantly better endgame, though.
Just a little cheeky axe over the wall. Secures the blue buff for Chaac. He won't pick it up, but Thor will go up.
Who's he looking for?
Anyone.
Look at how iRaffer is spread out here. In short, oh my God, Adapting dives in. There comes, oh, was that a blink?
That was a shield out of iRaffer as well. Now he's in trouble, but he saved the life of his jungler.
Did he just blink into the Kraken?
Everybody's out. iRaffer, thinking of his teammates first.
I mean, will the shield put you in combat? He could have shielded and then blinked. Little curious to see him jump into the water demon, but that's fine. They get out.
It's about empathy, Brandon. He wanted to feel the same that his teammates did. That's what he did.
That's how you become a better support player.
You just take all the damage that your team does.
It looks like Adapting will be favoring Brutalize on the level, and Torpedo's going to be going for a Gold Fury.
I like this play.
It's a great play.
They've got a lot of early game damage. No Kraken available. iRaffer's in the neighborhood with Adapting in tow.
1,000 damage.
Up on the horse
500.
is Murrdurr. He's going to die, and he does. But Torpedo get the Gold Fury. Trading your support this early for the Gold Fury. Interesting play. I like it.
Let's take a look at the graph and see how it went. You can see experience and gold were both pretty much in Torpedo's favor. Winds up being a pretty good play.
Yeah, that's an interesting trade. What it does is it gives Torpedo a little bit of an extra step. Where last game they got beat, they needed these little extra steps. So
Man, I don't know if there's a more frustrating move to get hit by than Tidal Surge.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of damage. It's really slow. It has a small knockback. It's just like, hey, look at this 600 damage that I could deal to you in the end game.
And the knockback is, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very useful, but it's more annoying than anything.
It is. It's a slight interrupt.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word, it interrupts everything you're doing.
Just a little bit, and you saw it in Raffer's like sort of game body language, right? He just walks forward and then just, all right, man, just turns around.
And it's not like a Yammyn freeze, which you expect. It's not like a Geb knockup or a Geb cataclysm, which you expect. It's this little tiny tidal surge that sometimes you can't dodge. You're like, damn it, it's just.
Yeah, because you see it from a mile away. That's the problem. You're never in a situation where you go, oh, tidal surge. It's always, here it comes. I've got a wall to my left and a bad guy to my right. I'm going to get hit. There it is.
Yep.
It's so obnoxious.
In the end game, that thing swings.
Yeah. It hurts real bad. We've even seen some Poseidon's. Boosh has been known to level it, actually, sometimes. So, not even in the end game. Murrdurr gets a big chunk. Yammyn, pretty big already. Rotation from Gamehunter. Not going to do much, but just alert the players that he's willing to rotate.
You'll note that Gamehunter on a Warrior doing much better so far in keeping pace with Dimi. Not only being able to rotate out of the lane, making steal attempts, but that red pot is gone.
He's fighting.
And now he chooses to fight.
After the red pot's down, now Gamehunter wants to go in.
And Dimi didn't take that. How curious. You'll see Dimi going into Breastplate of Valor, going to be trying to swap stances as much as possible. Not only gaining movement speed or damage, but healing himself pretty dramatically.
Good damage onto Adapting.
That Whirlpool looked like it was there to stop Murrdurr more than it was there to stop Panthera. Coming into the lane unsafely, Adapting. Oh, I thought he was going to take that jump.
I did too. We've seen that a lot of times, but he's very low. I guess didn't want to take the gamble.
Gamehunter throwing out a little bit of Easter love.
A lot of pressure in the mid lane coming out from Torpedo. Torpedo has a lot of pressure pretty much all over, and they're going to put it into the jungle. Dimi, 75%. Now he's going to give chase. There's the ultimate, and he's going to find nobody, and here's the damage out of Yammyn from the mid lane. Very disjointed team fight. There's Adapting up in the sky, negated by the ultimate.
NinjaBobat coming in, Kraken going to do some damage, but not enough. Adapting trying to get out of this one. Raffer in the back line trying to defend Yammyn, getting very low, getting body blocked. Raffer, though, big shield, and you'll see Murrdurr out of mana, and NinjaBobat out of health.
Dimi's rotation pays off. Gamehunter's does not, despite a good play. If you saw that, Brandon, Gamehunter came down with the Chaac ultimate to make sure Raffer couldn't put the shield onto Yammyn. Yeah. But there wasn't enough damage focused from Torpedo to actually take out Yammyn. But very intelligent Chaac ult that just didn't pan out.
I just don't see why they lost that. Honestly, I mean, Bobat had a great initiation. I think the two biggest things there was the Kraken was off the mark, and Murrdurr ran out of mana a little bit too early without that meditation online. Dimi even wasted his ultimate in the beginning of that, but Adapting was too disruptive. Yammyn is too smart about avoiding hitboxes, and of course, Raffer is just being the support god that he is.
Well played by Panthera. Torpedo still have yet to find a kill in this one as well. They were shut out for a long time. Panthera actually got up to 10 kills plus before Torpedo was able to find their way onto the scoreboard last match.
13, was it?
Yeah,
13 and 1.
So Torpedo trying for a different take this time around. Only 3 kills for Panthera, so a slower start at the very least.
Dimi back over here, level 11, keeping pace with Gamehunter. You'll see a slight gold advantage for Chaac, but we all know that as we get later and later into the game, this is going to belong to Ami, hands down. Now, what do you reckon we're going to see for the second relic slot for Ami? I'm really hoping it's Frenzy.
You want to see a Frenzy out of Amaterasu?
Frenzy is incredible on Ami. Being able to pop that and give your team either movement speed or damage boost, and then going into the Heavenly Reflection for some damage reduction. Oh, little bit of miscommunication there. Yammyn going to do a lot of damage, but not enough to pick up Korinyo. Korinyo's Kraken was perfect.
Gamehunter, the first kill for Torpedo. Yammyn might be the second, but help from Moex is going to be sanctuaried out.
Geb shield there to keep it safe as well. They'll find a 1 for 0 though, Adapting, getting picked off, getting a little bit over aggressive. But I think the big key there was the fact that Yammyn and Adapting didn't hit all 3 shots. From the bird's eye view, it looks like Fenrir moved that just straight up out of there, but Yammyn can't see exactly what's going on. They can't communicate that 100%. It's just impossible.
Ultimate out of Dimi. One more time, going to be avoided by everyone.
Gets 1 hit on 1 person out of 3. A potential of, I would probably say 8 hits total there, only gets 1.
Yeah.
good. That shows to me the Torpedo is adapting more to Panthera's movement. I think it's pretty important.
They understand where they can and cannot stand, and iRaffer's going to stand in front of 3.
Look at this guy.
He's fine with it.
How does he do this?
Because he knows Adapating's going to come follow up and
Oh
bring
my
Thor
God.
all the way home. NinjaBobat sit down. Kill number 4 on the side of Panthera.
Wow. I really can't believe that he was able to pick that up. Gamehunter not in a great spot. Still has his ultimate for some damage reduction. Should be safe. Dimi rotating over as well. And will dash right out of there, giving the movement speed to Adapating, getting into the jungle as fast as possible.
Well played by, man, I'm still thinking about that team fight from, or the quick pick from Panthera. It's just, again, I'm going to say, going back to what I said in game number 1, it's a trust. iRaffer standing there in front of 3 people, knowing that he's going to have a teammate out of nowhere.
Did you see the Obi-Wan Darth Vader, you're the student, I'm the master now from emilitoo?
Which, no, I missed it.
Old man Moex trying to box out in the jungle in his side, and emilitoo's like, you've been gone for too long, son. This is my jungle now.
So who is the Jar Jar then?
Adapting.
Darth Jar Jar is adapting?
Yes, he is the Sith master.
There he is. That one is going to line up, but not enough to find the kill onto Korinyo.
There's the Geb shield that we called so many times. Yammyn going real deep, finds it. I don't think there's much control here that could happen enough to lock Yammyn down to the sky. We see Bobat go, but there's no way he comes back down aggressive.
You know, it's funny. I think it was easier to see the shots coming from the Chiron in the last engagement that missed. This time, Yammyn hits them through the wall. I thought Korinyo was dead, but luckily for Torpedo, he's not. He's able to turn it around and take out Adapating. Beautiful play by Torpedo, despite a great effort coming out from Yammyn, shooting his ult through the wall.
And right there, emilitoo using his ultimate, of course, to just keep from dying. I mean, there's no more analysis. Moex actually had the line there, but the rotation over from iRaffer gives him the shield. The ultimate comes out to give him a very small knockback and a lot of damage he can't run through. With that, emilitoo does get out safely.
Team separated by less than 1,000, and Torpedo looking to take the lead. iRaffer down for the count, and that's going to make Torpedo just within 300 gold. This is the game I expected game 1.
Right there, Murrdurr shows off the versatility of the Guan Yu ult cavalry charge. Is the highest damaging physical attack in the game if you land all the hits, but instead cancels it early specifically to shut down the rollout and ensure that there's no escape possible. iRaffer had already burned his shield, he had no defensive measures left to take, and as a result gets picked off. And
again, that's the skill level of this squad. These guys aren't, they're not rookies like so many of the other people on so many of the other teams. And Torpedo, like I said, these teams are neck and neck. It's tied up, and this is more the game that I expected when we came into the set today.
So I'm already beginning my Season 3 wish list.
All right.
My Season 3 wish list is...
An RPG led by Waluigi.
God bless. And Gino.
Yes.
I think the biggest thing, maybe somewhat unlikely, but still possible, and that's at LAN, I want to see Dimi versus Divius.
Yes.
That's my number 1.
Sure.
I've seen a lot of things, but I've never seen those two play. Oh, he's stuck in the wall. iRaffer maybe in a bad spot, forced to burn his shield because he was stuck inside the wall. It's almost impossible to lock someone in the way that it just happened. It must be exactly centered. It's a very hard shot to do.
Thor's going up. Where's he looking? Are they going to look to isolate? They're going to look to isolate iRaffer, but that's not the first time he's done that.
It's the third time he's done that.
And now the turnaround from Panthera. The shot's going straight up. Korinyo going to let the Kraken unleash. This time, not going to find the kill off of it. Great body blocks coming out from Murrdurr. But again, not enough. Everybody's alive. Moex trying to rain some artillery, but he's going to be caught out now between a support and a soul. Knocked up due to the ultimate, but he'll find safety under the tower for the moment. Dimi takes him out with the ult. Chaac answers back. Dimi in some trouble underneath. Dashes to find a way out.
Amaterasu movement speed. Amaterasu healing and a Geb shield gets Dimi out of danger. No health, no mana will force him back to the base as it looks like the blue team going to take their shots at a Gold Fury after the first tower of the game falls.
Adapting's going to back, so it looks like this won't be a Gold Fury call.
Okay.
Which is basically, this is they're showing their respect to Torpedo. They've got 3 members that are almost healthy in the mid lane, but Panthera understand that it's still a threat.
Check out the shield coming out from Dimi. This is more than likely to be a runic shield, right?
Oh, yeah.
Can we actually hover on the item, or is that a warded shield?
No, that'll be a gotta go fast shield for sure.
Yeah, this is likely... Oh, no. Oh, it's Spike Shield. No, this is going to be Void Shield.
Yes.
That's the only thing it builds into. I was thinking it was going to be Shield of Regrowth, actually, which winds up giving you movement speed every time you heal.
I just called it the gotta go fast shield.
It's just silly.
but yeah, we're gonna see another Void Shield. Love the pickups of this item.
So what then does does Adapting go into? Because he's building a shield as well. It could be shifters.
Could be a shifter shield, which, again, a very, very strong hybrid item, which is exactly what Fenrir wants as he goes into the late game. He wants to deal damage and take damage. So both Void Shield and Shifter Shield would be good. Shifter Shield a little on the expensive side, but accomplishes its goal nonetheless. 60 physical power, one of the highest, when you meet the conditions, one of the higher physical power items out there.
Really, only one that's stronger is Transcendence.
Yep. Very, very strong item. Dimi's going to go ahead and back.
That'll be a Void Shield pickup then.
Half mana. There it is, yep. I'm so happy. I'm just happy that we're seeing it.
Yeah, I mean,
because like I said, I mean, the beat sticks and everything, you're losing 10 power for 50 protections. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, granted, again, you're losing that pen against things like the Fire Giant and the towers.
Sure.
But you're gaining it against gods for your team, which is so important, especially when you have so many carries. Bobat uses his ultimate ineffectively. iRaffer, again, taking the Kraken shield, doing well for him, and he should be out of there.
He was stuck for the moment, and now he's not. Turnaround from Panthera. Is it going to come? Yes, it will. Dimi from the top side. They're looking at Murrdurr. Will they force the ultimate? That's the question.
Got him this time.
Strong. Coming around from the side. Dimi with the slice and dice.
And then right after the shield hits Bobat in the back for another 50% of his health, sending him out of there. iRaffer still hanging around, shield available. This time looks like will be the Gold Fury. Right after emilitoo finishes up, 84 damage a hit, dude.
Adapting, looking for the kill. Sanctuary strong enough, and it's going to deter the fight as Panthera understand that Chaac is right in the jungle, looking to come on the flank. Yammyn.
I mean, taking a small amount of damage. They'll go right back to the mid lane, it seems. Avoiding the Gold Fury for now for a safer push. A little bit more pressure on the map. They're going to go to it now.
See, that's the problem that Chaac runs into. He's building defensive because that's what you do as a warrior in the solo lane, and he's tickling Yammyn, who he's 2 levels above.
Yeah, I mean,
that axe is supposed to hit for a lot, and it's just not. So that's the problem that Chaac runs into, specifically in the mid game. He's really all about this ultimate.
And a free gold for the Panthera boys. Let's go to the graphs here after a many structure fell. And it's going to be almost 5,000 gold, 5,000 experience in favor of blue.
Adapting on the hunt right now. Going to use his ultimate. It gets beats out, and he's going to fall. NinjaBobat on the turnaround off the assist of some teammates. Great play coming out from the guys on Torpedo.
Where was that third shot? Did it go to emilitoo?
I think it was just waiting too long. Only got 2.
It's possible.
Yammyn now looking towards these mid cams.
World champions looking strong as ever.
Chaac just does nothing in the mid game, and this is a pick that Gamehunter actually likes. You see it a lot from Gamehunter, and like I said, early game dominance. We didn't exactly see the execution that we might have personally wanted from the red pod on it, but I'm really curious to see if he decides to transition into this. All I do is ult. All I do is hit my rain dance and slow everybody. He needs to be in the middle of these fights more.
emilitoo gonna beads out. Bobat gonna waste his ultimate again. So far, 2 ultimates off a 4-man rotation to try to find emilitoo. He'll trade out his ultimate and a few of his actives as well, but honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
They're looking for Murrdurr.
And they're gonna get him.
Gets the stun.
No, they're not gonna get him.
They have to chase it down. Yammyn's gonna find it with the ultimate if he can hit it. And he does.
Did you actually notice the shots there? Yammyn shot in front to ensure that if Murrdurr decided to walk forward, he's going to cover that option. He forces Murrdurr back while he's rotating towards the wall, and by that point, the third hit was an absolutely guaranteed angle. That was brilliant math done right there. Brilliant geometry from Yammyn, guaranteeing the last hit of the ultimate, plus the masterful shot, the slow, and a much better route for his team.
It's one of my favorite plays in all games, Brandon. I call it the impossible decision. Either you walk forward into my damage or you walk into my team. You're going to go down either way, and you make a situation where there is no right answer. And right now, Panthera, they're going to get a tower in the mid lane, keep pushing forward. Dimi, foot on the gas, looking right at NinjaBobat. Couple of basics should secure it, and it does. Dimi dives deep for the jungler, and he finds him.
You don't run from Amaterasu. There's no running from Amaterasu. She's going to run you down. Guaranteed. Gamehunter in the jungle, about to get sandwiched here, is over on the right side. Dimi's cutting the path off, although very healthy, shouldn't have too much trouble getting away from this one.
He does burn the teleport, though. Not able to travel to his axe if he wanted to. But ultimately, Panthera walk away.
Speaking of teleports, both solo laners still have their relic teleport available, meaning extra life bars, most notably for Dimi right now, who could choose to get right back to the Fire Giant. emilitoo left alone as Soul means another structure falls for Panthera, and again, we go to the graphs.
7,100 gold lead for Panthera. Not quite as dominating as their 17K gold lead, which they had at about 21 minutes last match. But still, a good lead nonetheless. And again, you pointed out emilitoo. This is, I love when players understand exactly what their role brings to the table. And emilitoo looks for these structures every chance he gets. Okay, I can be sneaky and find this tower on the right side. I'm going to push this with my team. He's always on the structure. He understands exactly what he's supposed to bring to the party, and he does just that.
emilitoo again looking just to hold the tier 1, but will be left alone. No structures on the left side aside from the bird. I don't expect him to be going up that far as Soul, a character with very little escape past, I would say, 6 or 7 seconds. She'll probably push this out 2 or 3 waves and then start rotating over to start contending the Fire Giant, of which belongs to Panthera so far, considering not only the most of the vision, but they also have, what, 4 sentries in their inventory right now and 3 normal wards to boot? I mean, there's no way that this is getting locked down by Torpedo anytime soon.
Yeah, no, Panthera really should have their eyes all over the minimap, and they're going to go ahead and just start that up as Yammyn places the ward, knocks one out. You know, we saw Thor aggress onto the support earlier, onto iRaffer in the mid lane. He took next to no damage. He's building that sovereignty. You know, these aura items sort of disappeared for a while, and now they come back sparingly, pretty much just when they're needed, which is nice.
A 9-level advantage right now for Panthera as they look to take down another structure. Having a hunter, especially a hunter with Dimi in the background as Amaterasu, should make this pretty quick. Thor to the sky.
Where's he going to land? He's going to land on the backside, gets Yammyn to burn his purification. Dimi way under the tower to stop the follow-up. Look at all that damage coming out from the team Panthera.
Look at Murrdurr in the back line getting dragged all the way back. Gamehunter tries to do something there. iRaffer very low. I don't know if Bobat's got this one. Gamehunter in some trouble here. I don't see him getting away either as Dimi tries to force the sandwich. iRaffer moving back to the front for a little bit of support. Adapting, using that Seething Howl to try to heal up. Nice shot from Bobat, but not enough to deter, it seems, as he will fall.
Beautiful silence coming out from Amaterasu to stop that Berserker's barrage in its tracks. Gamehunter, where you going, buddy? Nowhere, says Yammyn, finishes off the double kill. Important point in that team fight for me, Brandon. Korinyo died with the Kraken.
Yeah, instantaneously taken out. Didn't get the big shot off. That extra health from the Gem of Isolation doesn't seem to be helping him against this rather aggressive squad.
Well, I think the purchase of the Gem of Isolation was less about the health and more, he realized he was behind. He's not going to exactly be as bursty as he might like. So the Gem of Isolation allows him to assist in other ways, making that Whirlpool something you have to use purification on, right? But unfortunately, the big part of that team fight, you saw how low Panthera was? They were low enough that that Kraken would have brought them to 0.
I don't love the double Void Shield coming out from Panthera. I definitely think that's wasted stats. I would have liked to see something else. I don't know what off the top of my head, but
now it's worth it to say that I actually most of the time I don't mind double aura items when you have it like on a support or a solo laner because you're on opposite end of the team fight, and so those auras won't overlap. But Adapting and Amaterasu are going to be in the same spot, just like this, right next to each other, and then emilitoo's going to fire from a distance and secure Bobat.
2 ultimates burned as iRaffer laughs to himself about how easy that might have been. And you know what they say? If there's an easy game, you got an easy life.
Mid lane being aggressed on by Panthera. 3 members to 2. Torpedo's here to try and play some sort of defense, but Panthera's going to walk all the way to the right. Love that play. They hang up Torpedo just enough in the mid to ensure the window is open to take out the Firebird on the right.
iRaffer just walks in against 3, says, hey guys, we're going to do this. Look, I'm the support. I'm tanking the mid Phoenix. And both of the carries go to the other lane. Murrdurr trying to make a defense here. Not going to be able to do too much. I would assume that this bird's going to go down pretty simply. And wow, yeah, Murrdurr going to get taken out. Dimi with a double, aiming towards the fountain as Moek's trying to get away. Just no, emilitoo getting another one.
Thor's up, and he's going to try and do something on the back line, adapting with a hair of HP. iRaffer out of nowhere puts the shield down.
4 times.
Already down to 50%. Ladies and gentlemen, your world champions are coming into Season 3 hot as a chili pepper.
Adapting dodged the Thor ultimate 4 times that set with Unchained. In literally the same exact way, 4 times.
So, when you're lonely in the lane and you get Thor ulted, you hear it, okay? I'm not saying I'm adapting level, but we've done that.
Yeah.
Mid-team fight, 27 things going on, teammates yelling in your ear, you're looking at cooldowns, he still pulls it off. That's impressive. Crazy stuff coming out from not just Adapting, but also Dimi, the artist formerly known as NinjaBobat. Switched it up, probably because of Bobat. Not enough room for two ninjas.
I think he actually ran a poll at one point saying, like, what do you guys think? And everyone's just like, call yourself Dimi, dude. Just stop.
I definitely voted for Dimi.
Oh, yes.
And right here, Dimi's voting for himself. Huge plays on the
This is the big one.
Amaterasu. You know, we noted how he missed a lot early on. Late game, much different story.
And gets right out of there. So much baiting potential. I think actually this might have been the big one. And yeah, it's a double stun right there. Dives right in for a kill onto the support. Let's watch another one.
What I've really enjoyed is Dimi just being straight up aggressive.
Just takes a kill. Free one on a Bobat, his old brother.
What I really liked out of Dimi's Amaterasu was less these plays, and honestly, the plays that probably won't even make the highlight.
Look at that.
Wow, that's a great play.
Look at
just
that.
to turn around the 3-stun. But so the plays that didn't even make the highlight reel because they weren't flashy about Dimi, they were flashy about the team. Somebody would get stunned, and then Dimi would go to the back line and ensure that the follow-up was too busy dealing with Dimi to actually provide the follow-up on the fantastic initiation that Torpedo was able to get. So great attention by Dimi to understand that his job isn't to hit anyone with that ult. His job is to corral a very certain, specific part of the enemy team, and that's exactly what he did.
With that ends our first set of the day. But before we go, we're going to talk a little bit to team captain and world champion support, iRaffer. iRaffer, how you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
Congratulations on winning your first 2 games of the season. You guys played one of the newer teams in the SPL. We know that you usually say easy game, easy life, but how did that game treat you?
I was gonna say easy game, easy life.
Well, I
You're
took
just
that one
taking
away
my
from you.
sentence away.
You got to give me a longer answer now.
What else can I say now? Well, the team we played okay. We've been doing well in scrims, but I think there's a bit of sloppiness. You know, considering we're coming in the world champions. Certain member in the team is toffling. I won't name names, but they had 75% deaths in the team.
A little fun having by
yeah,
the
that's
Panthera,
about
guys.
it.
Let's talk to me a little bit about your competition. Now, in Worlds, I think everyone considered the finals to be the semifinals against Cloud9, now Luminosity. Yesterday, they dropped to Enemy. Do you think that you would fear Enemy a little more with this new squad as opposed to what you fought at Worlds? Do you still think Luminosity is going to be your big, I would say, big competition, or is it someone from Europe that's going to wind up being your biggest threat?
I honestly couldn't say at this point. You know, it's new into the season. Teams have just farmed. There's still synergy that's not completely synced. So I wouldn't like to be cocky, but I think we can definitely get a whole way again.
There's a difference between cocky and confidence, and I think you landed on the better side of that. One of the questions that I really wanted to ask you personally was last season you came in with, you know, relative nobodies, and you came up and did very, very well and wound up being the world champion. What's the feeling like coming into season 3 as a world champion as opposed to season 2 as not so accomplished?
I feel exactly the same. You know, I still have the same drive to win, and I know everybody in the team does. I don't agree with people when they say I came in with randoms,
Okay.
you know, in the second season, because I knew all of them personally, and they were definitely the best bunch on the block. So
You've proven that
I'm
much.
feeling exactly the same going into season 3.
Cool.
Excellent. That's a great way to put it, man. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the fans at home or maybe some enemies?
I'd just like to thank everyone who bought the Easy Game, Easy Life shirt, all my subscribers, and everybody who tunes into my stream. Twitch.tv/iRaffer, the real world champion.
Excellent.
Is that a shot at Weekend?
Thank you so much.
I wouldn't do that, dude.
Thank you so much. That, of course, is the captain and the support player iRaffer from your, as he said, world champion Panthera, excuse me. We'll take a look at some of the games going on today. And next up, we've got Hungry for More and Leftovers.
That's right. We're going to have a lot of newly formed teams, some names you might know, some names you might not. After that, Fnatic taking on Team Dignitas to wrap the day up. Allied will be coming on the horn in just a bit to replace me on analysis, which will be a lot of fun. Make sure to listen to him. He used to be really good at the game. Now he's washed up caster.
Welcome to the squad. Stay tuned. Very exciting matchup. We get to see Ataraxia and Badger take their 2 new squads head-to-head against each other. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more SPL.